All right, so we just got a special delivery all the way from Hurricane, Utah. So my buddy Nick was down playing at Sand Hollow this weekend, and Matt needed the motor transported up to us because it's got a DOD. This is a 5.3 DOD, which means something on demand, where this engine shuts cylinders off. It's a 5.3 LS, but we're gonna fix that. So Nick and his wife Katie brought it from Hurricane all the way to you from Utah. We're taking Bombi's engine, lifting it out of his truck. We're gonna put it on a tow truck, and we are taking this to our friend Kevin up at Powder Stream Coatings, because you don't know this about him, but he builds LS engines for sand cars and has for a long time, and he puts turbochargers on them. He calls them hair dryers, and it's super cool. So anyway, when Matt called me up last week, he's like, hey, do you know anybody that builds LS engines? And I was like, yeah, no problem. So I called Kevin, and I was like, hey, Kevin, do you want to do Bombi's engine? And he's like, heck yeah, Robbie, get that motor to me. And I was like, all right, Matt, let's get that motor up here. And now here we are. So we're gonna unload this, put it on the tow truck, taking it to Salt Lake to Kevin, and he's gonna fix up Bombi's engine so it's just like it's brand new and it doesn't have that stupid thing where it shuts cylinders off on demand. So anyway, we'll get it lifted out with King Fred. So Matt rounded up all the parts that he needs to get this engine back to where it needs to be. Now I believe this is a full aluminum 5.3, don't quote me. Head over to Matt's channel to find out the exact specs on this. But this is a gasket kit, this is a camshaft. One thing I do like is they got a bunch of stuff from GM, but they also got a bunch of stuff from Texas Speed. So one of these days, I'm gonna get me a Texas Speed motor, but that day is not today. Tomorrow's not looking so hot either. We'll get this up to Kevin, make sure we have everything we need. He's gonna put this back together. So it is a perfect, all aluminum, lightweight, Bombi 5.3 screaming machine. Look at that.
Look at that.
Almost perfection.
Just like that.
All right, so we got Bombi's 5.3 liter all aluminum LS in the back of the truck. We're gonna run this up to Kevin, and hopefully we have everything. So let's get out of here. All right, so we are on our way to Kevin at Powder Stream Coatings because Kevin is also an engine builder secretly. So when Matt reached out to me, Demery's got this little airplane. Yeah, he's got Lincoln's little airplane going for some light. Brightens my face right up. So Kevin has been building LSs for sand cars for quite a while. Kevin's gonna go through this and make it a totally reliable 5.3 that's just gonna get Bombi through the snow and all the situations it needs to get through. We're working the night shift, got off work, been working on Bombi all day. Now we're headed up to drop it off and go grab us some Zupas and head back home. We got Colton in the back working the night shift, and we've got the boss running the light. Now, just for a little bit of context, for us to drive from Ephraim to Salt Lake, where Powder Stream Coatings is located, it's about an hour and a half one way. Takes a good portion of a day to go to Salt Lake, drop something off, and go home. That's why we decided to do it at night. So now you know. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Now, I know that you're only a painter and you're only a powder coater.
I'm anything.
But hopefully, this is within your scope of work.
Yep. This is what I'd rather do.
Well, you shouldn't
I would much rather work on a motor.
You shouldn't open your mouth and say you're capable of doing stuff, because this type of stuff shows up.
Are they?
Hey, I will verify that, but I'm sure. Probably L90, not L92s, those are on 6.0s.
43s?
Yeah, 243.
That's a good head. That's the best head you can get.
Well, there you go. Only the best. Okay, you're good? Kevin's got a lot of stuff to do. He's got
Definitely got my work cut out for me.
Yeah, he's gonna get it all taken care of. We'll get Bombi's chassis back, and we'll get the 5.3 back. Anyway, we're gonna let him get back to work. He works a night shift too. So, well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll get it all done and get finished up and get it back to you as quick as we can. So.
Awesome.
Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. And today is bodywork starting day. Probably not completion day, but starting day. You might wonder where Steve and Hillbilly are. Well, those two little slackers got sick from Thanksgiving. They decided to go to Colorado, go see some family. Hillbilly came back with the flu or something. I don't know what he's got, but he was throwing up. Now Steve's throwing up, and we are not risking our lives.
Yeah.
Oh, so we got Hillbilly hidden the other side of the shop, and Steve's at home. So don't comment and say, where's Hillbilly? Eeyore replaced him, because he didn't. He's just sick, and we confined him to his cage. So anyway, we're gonna start on Bombi. You've got a lot of glass that has to come out. We have stickers that have to come off. We got a few things to clean up here and there. Matt did an amazing job at making my job easy. So all we're gonna do is go through, clean up a few things. We're pulling all the glass out. We're taking it up to my friend Heath at Clearside Auto Glass in Nephi, and he is going to actually make new glass that's thinner, because Matt specifically wants lightweight glass.
Yes, and if you can get the thinner stuff, I'd rather have it for weight savings, because this is a significant amount of glass weight.
So we're gonna be getting weight reduction on the glass, which is gonna be totally awesome. If we can get tempered glass in a timely fashion, we'll have Heath get us tempered glass. But anyway, we're leaving that up to him. We're gonna get some new windowsills, so all the glass has to come out, all the handles have to come out, and we're gonna start going through and just fixing the metal on all the stuff that we need to do. I need to address something. The elephant in the roof of the Bombi.
Is it gonna have as much Bondo as ours does?
Oh yeah, this thing's gonna be a Bondo wagon. But I wanna point out the escape hatch that not a single human being on the face of this earth, if this went down in a river, would ever escape out of, okay? So like you guys that think that,
Link
like,
might be
hold
able
on.
to.
Oh, you almost got it.
The ship is sinking, I'm escaping. I just,
Definitely, if the water, at the water level,
water is consuming me at this point.
we're cutting you out.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to cut me out. So in case you guys didn't know, okay, we are closing this hatch in. To all the commenters that think that they're gonna drown now, if we leave it, it's not really gonna matter.
Oh my god.
All right, so now you guys understand why we're covering this up. It's useless, it's crappy, it leaks. We're gonna cut it out, and we're going to reinstall metal. So we'll figure out where to cut it. We'll get it all welded in. We're gonna fix this. A lot of stuff to do, and not a lot of time to do it in. Should we see if we can lift it?
Go inside.
Yeah.
Like Flintstone,
Yeah, ready? Like the Amish.
That is hard.
I know. All right. Got it.
That's how it's done.
We are going to unlock the glass. So I've got this fancy little unlocking device. You just go all the way around. So as you can see, over time, rubber shrinks. This rubber has actually gotten smaller. Just want to get a little bit of glass cleaner. So I've got coating underneath. He's gonna apply constant hard pressure. It shatters, it shatters. Oh, I know what to do here. Let's flip it. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Apply pressure over here. So this is another trick to pushing out a window. You can take the lock ring out of the back side. Oh! And that is how you break a glass.
Oh,
Good thing we're replacing it.
it's shattered.
Okay, one template terribly removed. We're going to repeat the process. Unlock it, loosen it up, break the window, pop it out.
It's already broken.
Got it! Yep. Got it. Got it. They're not the same.
They are not.
Yeah, so they have to be custom cut, side specific. All right, we're moving on to the windshield. So we learned that all this glass is custom built to fit the custom openings. So we're gonna mark every single glass. They will all have to be custom cut. Bombi is not symmetrical, which is just fine. Holy sand. A lot of sand in this. I wonder why. Give it a little pushy push from the inside. That is some heavy glass. Matt wasn't wrong. It's so weird. Bombi is so ill. Last piece of glass is out. we're getting this stuff loaded up. We're gonna take our lunch break and go to Nephi and drop all this glass off so we can start getting it made from our buddy Heath. Slide it in. Slide her on in, partner. So to put this into a little bit of context, we are headed from Ephraim, Utah to Nephi, Utah. It is a 35-minute drive one way. That's the joys of living out in the boonies where there's nothing. You have to drive to places. So we're gonna drop the glass off, figure out where to grab some lunch, and head back to the shop because we have a roof to fill and a bunch of other stuff to grind and a lot of things to do. All right, we made it. We're gonna unload the glass and we're going to get Biggie's and Moroni again. Shallons. Sorry, we're gonna go get Shallons. We're gonna get it to go because we have to get back to the shop. And I am so tired, so I'm gonna make Colton drive home. Yeah. All right, so we've got it all dropped off. Heath is not here, so he's gonna call me. The secretary can give him a message to call us. We're gonna explain everything so that he gets it thinner, gets us sills, and the right color. All right, so we just stopped at Biggie's again. Got the old trusty sausage breakfast burrito. Can never go wrong. So Colton hasn't had time to eat his because he's driving. We gotta hustle back to get working on Bombi. So I'm contemplating cutting this whole side off and just replacing it with a new skin, but I'm thinking I probably won't. I'll probably just hit it out. We're not gonna use a lot of filler, but we are gonna use a little bit once it comes back from sandblast. But I'm gonna try to hit out some of these bigger dents. Not gonna get them all out because they've cut, spliced, this tube's bent. There's quite a bit of stuff going on here.
Did they do all this?
Yeah, they cut it. And I see a little bit of rust issues that we might need to address. And then the sound deadening inside has to come out. I know there's a trick with like dry ice or something, but I'm gonna see what it'll do to scrape it. First things first, we are taking and removing the emergency exit door. We're not gonna need that where we're going. I'm gonna belt grind the hinge off, and Colton's gonna grab the grinder and we're gonna start grinding some of these areas that say fix. We're gonna grind that. We gotta do some welding, and then we're gonna set this up on end because I wanna get in and see what we gotta do to remove all the sound deadener. So, yeah. This emergency hatch was about to go bye-bye anyways. We need a wire wheel.
Is that Bondo?
Yeah. So what they've done is they've added this curvature after they made the faceplate. They just did things square and then they put the curves. We're gonna dig out. I need to go and weld this weld back up, then we'll grind it. Now we're gonna have a lot to do once this comes back from Kevin. He's gonna sandblast it and epoxy primer it for us. Then we're gonna do our body work over that, and then we'll sand it and paint it. Now the inside, we're not doing any body work. We're just gonna sand that, prep it, paint it, all that fun stuff. Some real nice welding. Came right off. That hinge is just disintegrating. All right, so Colton's gonna take the wire wheel and he's gonna go around and remove all the silicone around this emergency exit. And then we will figure out how to cut that off. I'm gonna keep grinding some stuff and things. Yeah. Found a siliconed plug. Silicone in that too. I will weld that up, because that is a hole they didn't know existed. I don't think there's another hole in here. So that one will get welded. Found another hole. That'll have to get welded up. So that'll get welded, that'll get welded, that'll get welded. Didn't know they existed. Getting this ring discombobulated.
You should see if you could fit through that.
You got it.
Yeah, you know?
It's like the magicians with the hangers.
If I was in a lake and I had to get out, look at that, that's how big I am. So for all you people that call me fat, I just fit through that.
My shoulders to that.
Kind of hard.
Wow. Oh yeah.
That's not even good news.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just crushed my sternum.
It hurts. Oh. All right, he just lived. We both just lived. That's great, great news. We need to somehow get that all clean. Maybe with a new disc. Well, there's Mr. Sick.
Let's see if he could escape
Yeah.
this.
See if you can escape in an emergency situation. Let's see if you could get out. Me and Colton could. I don't know if my shoulders will allow me. Oh wait, it's hard. My chest won't. I could barely get it past my chest. Don't hurt yourself. Hillbilly didn't escape the frigid waters. He's stuck.
He probably
Unless
had
it
to
was
break
to
a
the
window.
top, he could just breathe.
Yeah. Then he's the snorkel.
I could just
Yeah.
swim at the surface.
Paddle it, yeah.
Yeah.
It was hitting my bones.
His bones is fragile. All right, so me and the boss are gonna run to a store called Terrell's and try to find some dry ice and some isopropyl alcohol. We've been watching some YouTube videos. I know those TikTok videos. And we're gonna have Colton stay here. So you're gonna see a sweet montage of him grinding a lot of stuff, and we'll be right back.
Robby wants me to clean this down to bare metal, so when we go to patch this hole in, it's all ready to go and weld in. So first off, got my safety boots. Okay, I got the top all done. Now it's the fun part. I gotta come underneath here and grind away. Okay, I'm all set up to do some of the grinding underneath. Grinding away, Cody came in and we just kind of was talking. We figured we'd just stand the whole cab of Bombi up, so I'm not down there underneath trying to do that.
Still got to get all the sound deadening off though.
Yeah.
Then you can get to the rust easier, tackle the rust, get it eliminated, coated.
It's gonna go easy for me.
All right, so I just got back from Terrell's. We got like, I don't know, some poundages of dry ice. First dry ice I've ever bought in my whole life. 8 pounds, holy crap, 8 pounds, look at that. So there it is. The boss is the woman with a plan.
I watched a video.
So dirty.
Says it worked.
All right, so she watched some sort of a video. We gotta do some crushy. Okay, wish us luck. Yeah, like this. This is fun, this is like whack-a-mole. What are you doing?
Stir it up.
I'm doing it.
We're definitely gonna need more grinding.
That is amazing.
Adley, come look at this science experiment. Look, Linky. Look.
It smells like a dentist office. Oh, that is, my fingers are frozen.
It feels so cold in here.
Oh, shut up.
All right, so this is sort of working. No, you don't touch it. So this is, it's supposed to break it.
What is it?
Working. Look, it's breaking up. Look, it's working. Oh. It worked. All right, so we're gonna lay this down flat because with the dry ice, obviously, as you saw, it needs to be flat. We're gonna do one section at a time and then we'll lay it on its side, get all this removed.
Dude, that's like the coolest thing ever.
Remove this layer. We'll reapply all this to freeze the black stuff. Don't touch. Listen to that crack. It's just creaking and cracking. This one's frozen. Look, this one's working perfect. Look at that. Comes right up. So crazy.
It's science.
It's science. Colton I, the science guy.
Dude, go.
Yeah, hit it. Why does, I wonder why isopropyl alcohol freezes it. I'm not a scientist, so I'm not sure why. This might just make a huge mess, but I want to heat the backside. Ready? Oh, man.
Like butter.
All right, Look at that.
I think that's a win too.
We're scientists. I think this is the easiest way so far. Good old fashioned. Look, we used fire and ice. The ice works really well. And we're saving your thumbs.
Thumbs and
Oh, yes. Look, reusable.
reusable. Smells like tar.
All right, we have 2 more pieces. So we're gonna stand this up on end and get them off, but we're gonna use the torch because we're out of dry ice. But dry ice removed pretty much everything in it. Removes it super clean because it freezes the adhesive and separates it from the metal. Now we're going to heat the adhesive and separate it from the metal that way. All right, so we've got all the sound deadening off. I'm gonna have Colton hold this cardboard on the outside. We're gonna make a CAD drawing of this hole because we're filling this bad boy emergency exit trapdoor in today. What I'm hoping for is to be able to use the piece that the hatch and just put it in. One other issue that we found. I want to show you guys. So right here, we have a ton of rust. So that is rusted and bubbling. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this whole section out. But I'm gonna try to cut it in sections. So I've got to get rid of like this rust and this rust. So I'm gonna cut a section of this out and replace it on both sides. All this has got to be cut out. Quick and easy way to cut cardboard. Now we'll see if it fits. It does fit, but it's just, there's a bar in the middle. Yeah, that'll work. That'll do, donkey. We're just gonna trace our CAD drawing out. We'll get this cut out and fit it. Ta-da! All right, we haven't cleaned up the backside. Oh, look at that. How is that for precision? So we've got a weld right here. We've got to hurry and cut through Colton saw, and then we will tack this in.
In order to finish these and prep them, we got to get all the stickers off. We got this fancy dancy.
Like a pencil eraser, and you just erase it.
We're gonna erase the stickers.
And you're gonna run it at
a
1,000
low RPM. I was taught, so it's really thin. See, that's too fast.
All right, I'm gonna work on cutting this out. It's gonna mess it up, but that's fine. It'll all get welded back in with new metal. I just wanted to go through that 45 because I do want to take this off and reuse it. You can see that this is a piece of metal that they've formed. It's been hemmed over to make a rigid lip, but we're gonna change that. Look at all that rust. This whole piece is rotten. Look at that. We get to rebuild this somehow. This has had a lot of moisture build up and it's just rotted that whole piece out. So we're changing it.
Looks like all of Whiskers.
Yeah. Poor little Whiskers is completely rotten. Oh yeah. Got it. Same thing. Rust buildup. Look at it. We're gonna get that taken care of.
Okay, as I was prepping the door, taking the sticker off and everything, I wanted to just pull these. Look like they're, for when you open the door and you want to keep it open, you just put the latch in there. So I'm gonna take these off. They're just self-tappers. They're easy to undo until they get to the end. And then you gotta basically just pull them out and then pull it off, just like that. Now I'm onto the door latch. They are rusted in. Look at all that rust. That means we're gonna have to replace them. We'll make Hillbilly find where to get those.
Yeah, you got a boat bed full.
Oh, aren't you funny? Ha 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 ha. Ha ha.
What are you doing?
My plastic wedge had a sharp chip in it, and I don't need to scratch the custom paint. So I got rid of the sharp chip.
All right, now that I've got this all cut and figured out, we're gonna set this down because it's kicking the top out of square. So when I go to weld it, we wanna have it flat. So I can line these bars back up. And we'll definitely have to do some port power in, make sure the door still fits. So we call this a monkey on a stick.
You're not on the stick.
Ha ha! Nobody has jokes. Ha 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 ha! That's the wrong side, but you can basically see that we're about right where it needs to be again. So this is in line with this. We'll put that inner bar in, then we'll start building all the other stuff. We've got to take this rusty contraption and go find some metal to rebuild it.
Okay, I moved on to the second door with taking the latch out. The way that they're looking, I'm thinking we're gonna be replacing them. I mean, we gotta make Bombi look good. There's the inside latch. A little bit of rust on the door, but I don't think it's anything too bad. Just undoing these screws. This one's not as rusted and it wants to just basically fall right out. I think that's what we need to replace them with. Now I can go ahead and start ripping all these stickers off.
All right, went to lunch, got ourselves some lunch at lunch, got ourselves some magnets, got ourselves some metal. I can't find any supplier that has this steel right now, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off everything and I'm gonna reuse these.
You want to dig into the derby car stuff?
Did you find some?
I don't look for them.
Ooh, no, that's a good idea. All right, just kidding. Hillbilly's gonna run out to the derby car and see if he can find some metal. Beautiful idea. That's why we keep Hillbilly around. Right there.
Showed you guys this before. This is the derby car full of scrap iron. We have found pieces numerous times that we've been able to use on different occasions. So hopefully we get lucky and find the piece we need for this.
What's that right there?
Okay, so I was test fitting the sheet of metal that we cut out for the roof so we can patch that hole in the roof, and it quite don't fit. So laid it down, grabbed a marker. As you can see, that's how much I need to grind down, just on the edge right there. Okay, I got that all ground down. Looks like it's gonna fit good. Robby can come in and weld it all up. Now I'm gonna be working on these doors some more. Looks like they sealed everything on the bottom half of it. So I'm gonna go through, clean all this up, take a wire wheel whatever I need to do. Okay, I got these doors all cleaned up. They had a lot of seam sealer just through here. Looks like they welded a hole. I'm gonna smooth that all out. Okay, I got that all ground down. Looking a lot better. I think we're gonna have to fill that in, weld it, and grind it back down. Looks a lot better than it did, so I'm gonna get all these stickers off.
Before I weld my magnet, I'll move it. So Colton got this all fit. I'm just gonna go through and tacky. I just wanna make this as smooth as possible. We are gonna put some body filler in it once it comes back from sandblast. I've got this completely tacked into place. Now, in a normal situation, I would blow this off and I would heat control it and all that stuff, but this roof is so far from straight that it's not even gonna matter. So I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna blaze this in and put as much heat into it as possible so that it just gets a nice little ocean. The emergency exit is welded in, so I hope this doesn't ever go into any water. We'll let that cool down. We'll start grinding it here in a little bit. I'm gonna weld up this hole saw mark next. And then we'll get working on these side pieces. Ow. I'm getting this new piece welded in. I've got to adjust the front, but it's working. I am gonna have to bend this upper metal out to weld that top piece, but that's okay. Then we'll bring it back down and weld it. I'm gonna weld up inside here. All right, now we've got to line this up.
So Robby asked me to get this other piece test fitted so that way he can come over and weld it. So that's what I'm gonna do.
So I'm gonna cut part of this drip rail off so that I can overlap my drip rail here for a little bit of extra strength. All right, so what I've done is I've overcut so that when I put my pieces in, they're over top of this butt weld. That's gonna add a little bit of extra strength so that we don't lose integrity. Now what we have to do also is we gotta make another piece that folds over this so that it's the same height all the way through. So I'm gonna grind up my welds here and here. We're gonna use our Swag Off-Road press brake, finally, for real life applications. And we're gonna make some angle iron. Not bad. Need to go a little bit further, but that's working. All right, check that out. Not bad for our very, very first bend. All right, we're gonna cut this off at 6 3/8. Let's put this over in the vise and we will run the 6-inch cutoff through it. Then I'll show you guys what my plan is. All right, now I've got to get my depth measurement. We'll mark that and cut it. Look at that. Just what we need.
Hi.
All right, so hopefully this is making sense what we're doing. We're trying to make the exact same height and everything that this had at one point. So what I'll do now, I'm not gonna weld under here because we're gonna turn this sucker up. Fully weld underneath so that the welds don't suck. Then we'll grind them, and then I'll put this drip edge in down on the bottom. I'm gonna grind these flat real quick. I'll get me a drip edge on, and then we'll weld the top up.
So while Robby's doing the drip rail and all that fancy stuff on the sides, I want to grind the welds flat so it looks good.
As good as it's gonna get. Now I need to weld this, well, I need to fold this up. I need the seam buster. And so what I did is I shaved back a little bit of metal so that I can weld the top side of this tubing. And we'll bend this back down and we'll weld the top.
Okay, so Robby's just telling me to go through and weld where you can see the lines. When we grind it, it'll be nice and flat and flush.
All right, so we've got this side finished. We've got the front welded. Hillbilly's got part of it ground, but it's really late and we're running out of time in the day. So I'm gonna have to finish the other side later. All right, we got quite a bit done. We've got a little bit more metal work to do before we can get this up to powder trim coatings to get it sandblasted and powder epoxied. So as always, we appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.